My philosophy is to be a successful lawyer, you have to be hands-on. You have to be hands-on from start to finish. So I believe hands-on representation is the best way. And it's just, that's how I believe you successfully represent people. Also, I think the biggest advantage to my firm versus one of the large firms or one of the large advertising firms is personal service. And the bottom line is if your lawyer is not dedicated 100% to your case, the insurance companies know it. So what happens is the companies know if a case sits a year, 2 years, 3 years with nothing going on, that lawyer is not paying any attention to the case. There's that relationship, that bond that you develop with the client, that trust. There has to be that trust between the attorney and client, or else it won't be a successful venture. Because a lot of cases, some may go on a few months, some may go on for a decade, literally. I've had cases go on that long. You have to have that level of trust between you and the client, and that starts with the beginning. Do you care about that client? Are you interested enough that you'll do your own intake and see it through every step of the way? So the personal service and attention and the compassion and the empathy, I think, is what distinguishes us from all the other big firms in town. Whereas at my firm, we're on top of our cases all the time. We meet on them every week. My staff, it's hands-on. I work on my file, so I know what's going on. So as a client, if you were to call me and say, look, what's going on with this particular issue, I would know immediately, well, this is where we're at on it, this is what we're working on, and this is what we're going to. To be effective, you have to be available, you have to be there in the moment, you got to be there when they need help. I'm in my 21st year of practice. I started my firm in 1993 after working about a year at a very large litigation firm, so I'm very familiar with how a large operation works. I'm very familiar with how cases are litigated. So when I went on my own in 1993, I had that experience of working on a larger volume of cases and already had sort of the structure in place. So how I stay on top of it is I go to literally almost every seminar out there on trial practice, personal injury, changes in the law. The law, as many people know, changes every year, both at a state level, federal level, regulatory level. And if you're not on top of the changes in the law, literally you can make huge mistakes in the cases. In 2003, I applied and was accepted to Jerry Spence's Trial Lawyers College. And what that is, Jerry Spence is now an older lawyer, but a very famous lawyer who tried the Karen Silkwood case, the Randy Weaver Ruby Ridge case, and he runs a very prestigious 3.5-week trial college out on his ranch in Du Bois, Wyoming. It's really a wonderful thing, and that's changed me as a person, because the first thing we work on is being a better person. Stop being a lawyer and start being a person and be real. And jurors just want people that are honest, that are going to give it to them straight. And that sounds simple, but we're taught in law school to be lawyers. And so the Trial Lawyers Colleges teach us how to be real people again, like we were before we became lawyers in law school, and we're taught all the lawyer stuff. So I'm very proud of that, and I've been back to Wyoming almost every year for graduate courses. And in that process, I've met some of the most amazing lawyers in the country. I mean, amazing lawyers that I can call at any time and say, look, I have this issue, how do you deal with it? There's a whole fraternity of us, literally just a click away on the computer, that we share information. So it's a wonderful process. I can call people. I have experts literally a phone call away to deal with that. And that just comes from years of experience. So all that experience, all these situations that arise in your case, we're ready to deal with immediately. And we can deal with them quickly, and we have the resources, if we need to hire people to deal with it, to do that as well. And that translates to a better result in the end, because if certain evidence is lost, let's say from a black box, or if an issue is resolved improperly, you could literally lose the case. You could literally lose the case, or have such little proof that you have to settle a case for a lot less than what it's worth. And that's where the experience really counts. And that's where sort of the general practitioner lawyer just doesn't know how to do those things. My staff has been with me long term, over 15 years. And what's wonderful about my staff is they are literally the most caring, compassionate people I know. I mean, in fact, a lot of keys to my success are my staff. When people call and they're and they're treated like neighbors and friends, and they're treated respectfully and kindly and calmly. We have a lot of long-term clients that will just call us from time to time and see how we're doing, stop in at Christmas and bring cookies, call us for whatever, and it's a wonderful thing. My business has been built on repeat and referral, and that to me means a lot. And what I mean by repeat and referral is these clients liked what we did for them, so they send their friends, they send their parents, they send their neighbors, and that really means a lot to me. But it does start with your staff. If you have caring, compassionate, skilled staff, it really, really helps out, and we have that, and I think it's a huge, huge advantage for the client and for me as well as a lawyer. Well, the first step is just call. I mean, just call our law firm and we will walk you through step by step what you need to do. And really the sooner the better, because like I said, if you're giving statements and doing certain things, it's much better if you have a lawyer involved early. We work on what's called a contingent fee basis, and what that means is we're only paid an attorney's fee if we get a recovery for the client. And that is a set percentage set forth by the Florida Bar. It's what every lawyer in the state of Florida charges. So if we are not able to get a recovery, you don't owe us anything. And that's a nice way to work, because most people really don't have, especially after an injury, they don't have the financial ability to put out the money for experts, to put out the money for the things that are necessary to build the case. And we do that for you so you don't have to. Give us a call. I could meet with clients anytime during the day, after hours, on the weekends, whatever suits the client, we can do that. I always get back with clients at a minimum within 24 hours. If I'm in trial, it may be slightly longer, but I never let clients wait, and they're my priority. If I meet after hours, before hours, during lunch, it doesn't matter. And so my philosophy is if clients need to email me, pretty much any time, email me. If you need to call me, call me, and we'll walk you through step by step by step. People also, this may sound like a novel concept for lawyers, but sometimes you have to tell folks that they may not have a case and be honest about it. A lot of firms just take every case that's out there, so they have hundreds and hundreds of cases that maybe there's nothing there, and they're leading the clients to believe they're going to get something, and then they later drop them. And I think that's a really bad practice, and I think it's wrong. I think if somebody really doesn't have a case that should be pursued, I think it's good to be honest about that and tell them that up front.